right? Wherever I have a salary 40, so I want to update it to something else, right? Maybe for some reason, right? Doesn't matter what is the reason here. So I want to find some data and I want to check if there is a data something like 40, I want to update it, right? If there are only 5, 6, you can do it. Suppose you have a thousands of data like this, right? So wherever you find a 40, you do one thing, you update the salary, right? So that kind of a question, if I have, so then what I should do, right? So I have to start from here. Check this data is 40, whether this data is 40, this data is 40, this data. So I have to check all the data. Wherever I find a 40, I will do some kind of a operation, maybe updating the salary or reducing the salary, right? It could be anything, right? The idea here is that how can I read each and every data in this particular list? That is the question here, right? So that is where the concept called loops comes into a picture, right? So loops, what it happens in the loops, it will read a data one at a time. First time it will read 10, next time it will go to the second location and it will read third time, fourth time, fifth, until you have a last element. Until that time it is going to fetch the data and bring it back, right? So that is what the loops does. Let's execute some of the examples here and understand in a better way. Let me take this out. Okay, so here what I am doing, I am creating a list of numbers here. We know in the earlier video how to create a list. So this is sample data. So I am creating a numbers and I am assigning a variable, a 0 to the variable s, sum, right? So let's understand here. Right now, sum is having a 0. Okay, this guy. So now what I'm going to do, numbers is a list, right? So how I can say it's a loop? So we need to understand this syntax. For, for every value. So this is a basically self-defined. I don't need to mention anywhere. So it will define there itself. So for every value in this numbers, right? For every value in numbers, again a column, and you enter, again it is going to take a 4 white space. That is called a indentation that we have discussed in the earlier video, right? So then it means that it's a block of code. So whatever the data I'm going to write after this 4 space, it is all related to this for loop only, right? That's how you can interpret. If you write above this 4 out space, right, starting from the very first column here, so then it means that you are out of this for loop. It's not related to this guy. All right. Now let's understand. Okay, so for every value in a numbers, so in this case what it does, value will go to the for loop will fetch the first time the 6 number. So then I will come inside, right? Here I am picking that number 6 and adding it to a sum, right? So then both the data after addition, I'm assigning it to sum again. So now my sum is going to be, first time it is 0 plus this is a 6. It is picking up 6 guy. So sum will become a 6, right? Then I am printing it. 6 will be printed, right? So next time it will go to the next data point and it will come inside. Now val is having a 5 and sum become 6 now, right? Then it will be 6 plus 5. Again, sum is going to be assigned with a 6 plus 5, which is 11, and that 11 will be printed here. Next time it will go to this data. Val will become basically 3 next time. Then 3 plus the updated sum is basically 11. So 11 plus 3, 14 will be printed. So next time it will fetch this, this, and last. Every time it will pick one data at a time and will be added to the sum one by one, one by one, one by one. And every time I'm printing it, right? So this is how the data will keep printing. All right. So this is inside this print, inside the for loop. Outside also I have a print. So here, what is going to happen here? It will print the last sum. So whatever the data I'm going to get here at last, that data will be printed, right? So that is how the for loop works. It will pick one data at a time and do some operations and print it. If you want to print, you print it, otherwise leave it, right? So the idea here is that how for loop works. So this is the syntax that we use in numbers. This can be your user defined name. This can be also user defined name, but for and in is the basically they are the syntax if you want to use a loop, right? Let's execute. As you can see, 6, 11, 14 up to 46 it will print. So 46 is the last data which is updated in the sum, and here at last I'm just printing a sum because this print is outside the for loop. It is not after a four white space. It is outside the for loop. That's why it is printing only one time, which is the last updated data. That is nothing but sum is 46. All right. So that is how the for loop works. All right. So now you can do however you want. You can add some other operations here. You can do any kind of operations. Salary update, right? Employee phone number change. You have to have a phone numbers here. So you can add a if condition here inside. If phone number equal to some number, then update something. Any kind of a statements you can do. Assign a new phone number, right? We will see advanced techniques in the upcoming videos. This is just to understand what is for loop, what is the loop here, right? Okay, let's move on. So there is something called for loop with else. So here it's a loop only, but here we'll get some indication, right? So what I'm doing here? I'm assigning 0, 1, 5 to a list, which is a digits. Again, for every I in a digits, for every element in the digits, you can change whatever the name you want here, right? So here I'm saying for every I in the digits, print I. So it will fetch 0, 0 will be printed. It will fetch 1 next time, 1 printed, then 5 printed. So after that, it doesn't find any data. So what happens? It will come to else part. When it comes to else part, this will get printed, saying that no items left, right? If you want to print something like this. Otherwise, this is sufficient, right? This is sufficient to print all these guys. If you want to indicate something, then you can write a else and print something like this. All right, let's execute. Right, so this is how will be printed 0, 1, 5. Then after that, it doesn't find any element and it will come to else part and it will print this guy. All right, fine. So we have a while loop also. Right. So when I say while loop, it is basically it is going to let's understand how it works, right? So whenever I use a while loop, my first condition should be always true. Then only I will be able to get inside, right? Then I can perform any kind of actions here. So for that, what I'm doing, so first I am assigning number 10 to variable en and data 0 to sum and data 1 to I. So these are the variables I have right now. So how I will write a while loop? So I can write a while syntax. So here you can have any kind of a condition here. It doesn't matter what condition you are going to write. So I'm writing some condition. So if this condition is true, then only data will go inside, right? Otherwise, it will not go at all, right? So, oh, okay, I think I messed it up. So if this condition is true, the control will go inside, not the data. Control will go inside, all right? My bad. So the control will go inside and perform all these actions. So while I less than or equal to n, is I less than or equal to n? I is having a 1 and n is having a 10. Of course, it is less than n. So then the control will come inside. Again, it is, you can see the colon. Control will come inside and do all these operations. Sum equal to sum plus I. So right now sum is 0. I will be added. What is the I? I is having a 1. So sum will become 1, right? Then what I'm doing, I equal to I plus 1. I equal to I plus 1. So now I already have a 1. I'm adding one more. So I will become 2, right? Then I'm printing a sum and printing a I. So it will keep on printing based on this data. So now the question here is that why I'm adding this counter. We call it as a counter. I'm just changing this I because I'm checking the I here comparing against n. If I don't do this thing, what happens? It will keep on running, keep on running. It will never stop because every time it finds true, every time control goes inside, do something. So somewhere I have to put the break so that I should stop executing this entire piece of code, right? So what is the only way is basically I have to control here, right? I have to make this condition false. So for that reason, I keep changing this I by adding a 1. So next time it goes, I will become 2. 2 is less than n. Then it will come inside. Again, I will become 3 at some point, come inside. 4, come inside. So at some point, my I will become 11. So that time, is 11 less than or equal to 10? No, it is not less than or equal to 10. So that time it will come out of this loop, entire loop. By that time we would have printed sum as well as I, right? So that is the concept here in the while loop, right? Let's execute. You see that first time sum 1 and I is 2, sum 3, I is 3, sum 6, I 4. It will keep on happening until I equal to 11. When I equal to 11, so this condition will not be satisfied. So that time it will start coming out of this loop. The loop will be broken. The control will not go inside this, right? So this is how the while loop works, right? Yes, that's all in this video. Thanks for watching this video. See you in the next video. Keep learning.